President Tinubu transmits legal practitioners' bill to NAS, seek reforms to enhance access to justice. House of Representatives affirms government of Nigeria will never support or sponsor violence against its own citizens. Nigerian Union of Teachers backs temporary closure of schools in vulnerable areas till adequate security measures are in place. Welcome to the News Desk at 6 on NTNS 24 live from Abuja. I am Mina Daniels. Ahead of the national launch of the federal government's World Development Program, President Bola Tinubu has appointed Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State as a renewed Hope Ambassador. A statement from Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, says that his role as ambassador, he will double as a Director General for Party Outreach, Engagement and Mobilization. With the appointment, which takes immediate effect, Governor Uzodinma will be responsible for collaborating with the All Progressives Congress leadership and the governors for evangelizing the Tinubu administration's program. As renewed Hope Ambassador, Governor Uzodinma, who also chairs the Progressive Governors Forum, will ensure harmony, inclusiveness and strategic coordination across all levels of the party. He will also be involved in mobilizing and engaging people. He will work with the APC governors, who will also be ambassadors of hope. President Tinubu expects Governor Uzodinma and his colleagues to promote and disseminate the party's achievements and milestones since 2023, thereby reinforcing the message of renewed hope nationwide. President Bola Tinubu is introducing fundamental reforms to legal practice in Nigeria to ensure practitioners conform to ethics and are accountable and enhance access to justice. A proposal to that effect, the Legal Practitioners Act, Repeal and Reenactment Bill, has been transmitted to the National Assembly for consideration and passage. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, while reading the executive communication, said the bill has proposals for issuance of license to legal practitioners, introduction of 2-year tutelage, and compulsory continuous professional development program.
The draft bill introduces a new legal framework strengthening the regulation of the legal profession in Nigeria and providing necessary reforms to enhance professional standards, discipline, mechanisms, and public confidence in legal practice in Nigeria.
In another development, the Senate has, in line with tradition, adjourned plenary in honor of late Senator Okechukwu, representing Enugu North, who died last week Tuesday. The House of Representatives has affirmed that the government of Nigeria will never support or sponsor violence against its own citizens. Speaker of the House, Abbas Tajuddin, stated this at a special plenary on national security, convened to debate existing and emerging security challenges facing the country. Lawmakers in their debates made frank submissions about the security situation in parts of the country, calling on Nigerians to close ranks to tackle the multifaceted security threats.
These acts have been carried out by violent groups pursuing their own agendas. They do not reflect the policy or practice of the Nigerian state. Terrorism, banditry, communal clashes, and extremist violence have brought suffering to Nigerians of all faiths. Our Constitution guarantees freedom of religion, and every institution of government remains committed to protecting that right.
discouraging ransom payments to bandits. I know it's difficult, it's easier to say. But when you pay these ransoms, they use them to acquire more weapons and kidnap more and invade more communities. So we have to strike a balance as to where we stand on the issue.
Many will say banning amnesty negotiation is too rigid. My response, Mr. Speaker, is show me one amnesty deal in Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, Southeast, wherever in Nigeria that has produced lasting peace. What we have seen are staged ceremonies, rusty weapons surrendered, violence resuming within months.
We don't have an option than to go back to community policing or state policing. We must begin to secure our country from every community.
The Nigerian police is currently overstretched, underfunding, underarmed, and underpaid. This is coupled with the other institutional challenges also confronted by the Nigerian police. Policing a nation as big as Nigeria with its population it is not a small job.
Our valiant troops continue to battle with constraints and inadequate modern equipment and vehicles, advanced communication, and a manned aerial system, which are essential for effective ground and air operations.
Our Nigerian military is not overstretched. The responsibilities of the Nigerian military are overstretched. It is time to restore the police to its rightful place as the first line of internal defense.
National Assembly correspondent Mitare Ikpen reports that the session was attended by some officials of the United States Embassy in Nigeria. The Nigerian Union of Teachers has given its backing on the temporary closure of schools in vulnerable areas of the country until adequate security measures are put in place to secure the school environment. National President of the Union, Audu Tautas Amba, made this position known at a media briefing in Abuja. Joseph Otsen reports.
It is a struggle giving hope to the students and teachers that came under bandits' attacks recently.
Protecting our learning environment.
The first call is for government to ensure the immediate release of all those adopted.
The NUT viewed this gracious incident not just as an attack on school, teachers and learners, but a direct assault on the very foundation of education and sustainable development of our nation.
The teachers' union is in support of the actions taken by authorities to temporarily close down schools in some parts of the country to avoid a repeat of what happened in Kebbi and Niger states.
To allow school on or open, then children will be picked up maybe the next day. The best thing is to save them first and begin to maybe work towards seeing how you can continually protect the environment.
To the school teachers, the recent happening is a wake-up call on the full implementation of the Safe School Declaration, as they emphasize education is a major tool to deal with the current attacks on the nation's education sector. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
Following the recent trend of school closures in multiple states across Nigeria, including Bauchi, Niger, Yobe, Plateau, Katsina, Kwara, and the FCT, Connected Development Code is urging the federal and state ministries of education as well as the Universal Basic Education Commission to deploy continued learning initiatives and models previously used during the COVID-19 school shutdowns. In a release by the acting chief executive, Code, Hala Zidar James Michelle, this will ensure that learning continues even as the government works to restore peace and security in affected communities. According to Code, State of Basic Education in Nigeria Northeast reports 12,025 of the 21,585 girls enrolled in 221 secondary schools are re-enrolled students. COLD reaffirms its commitment to tracking school safety investments, providing evidence for advocacy, and amplifying citizen voices to demand accountability for Nigeria's education system. The 44th Annual Scientific Conference of the Association of Health Records and Information Management Practitioners of Nigeria has held in Abuja, helping to strengthen Nigeria's healthcare system through innovation, technology, and health information management. Theresa Osata Shirom reports.
The major agenda here for practitioners is development on initiative to strengthen digital health compliance, expand ongoing professional development programs to improve licensing systems. Organizers believe that it is by assisting institutions in updating their related curriculum for better healthcare delivery.
At the end of this opening ceremony, scientific papers will be presented, where a lot of issues regarding data, regarding information technology, regarding EHR should be discussed.
That is in terms of people renewing their licenses, visiting them in their hospitals, you know, there is a familiarization between us.
Request for continuous growth and embarking on stakeholders for proper work ethics across Nigeria was on the front burner. This is to be achieved in partnership with government and health institutions for major healthcare providers.
We open new relationship with government, MDS, and agencies.
Is strengthening the healthcare. We want to do this strengthening through technology and innovation, and we are doing it well.
Minister of State Health hyped on how data can be kept and managed by organizations.
If we want to improve governance, we can better improve governance if we utilize data, if we deploy digital technology, if we want to deliver quality care.
The conference featured awards presentations to some outstanding teaching hospitals for data records. In Abuja, Theresa Oswata Shunom, NTA News.
As lawmakers race to complete amendments to the Electoral Act before December 2025 deadline, civil society groups and some legislators say Nigeria's electoral future will not be fixed by more funding or new gadgets alone. This was the focus on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Ekemini Williams reports.
The National Assembly is working through a sweeping set of proposals to overhaul the Electoral Act, from mandatory electronic voting and electronic transmission of results to establishing an Electoral Offences Commission, and even moving the 2027 presidential and governorship elections to November 2026. But experts on the program say that while these reforms look bold on paper, they may not address Nigeria's deeper problem: the conduct of political actors and the widening disconnect between ordinary voters and the political process. For many Nigerians, especially in rural communities, even understanding how to cast a ballot remains a challenge, and that lack of empowerment makes manipulation easier.
Because you can reform and review your electoral act to make it to promote transparency in the process, but if the political class, if they do not have a reformed political culture to engage the electoral process, we will still keep going round this vicious circle.
And the way we can go about that in the course of the current push for reform of the legal framework is to look at where the responsibility for something like voter education sits currently. It sits with INEC, but INEC is not the only agency responsible. An organization like National Orientation Agency, and if you ask them, they tell you they don't have the budget to engage citizens in these issues.
This is December. They are still holding consultative meeting. November, consultative meeting. Meanwhile, we ran into the same problem ahead of 2023, when the president eventually signed the bill in February 2022. INEC have to shift the date of election by another week, if you remember, from the earlier announced date, because it has to give 1 year notice. Are we not walking into the same trap?
They also stressed that regardless of technology or timelines, an impartial judiciary remains central to building trust, ensuring that electoral disputes are resolved fairly and the people's choices are protected.
We need to do this earlier, or else these reforms that are supposed to improve the credibility of the elections will in turn start to look like, suspicious and trying to make it look like it is even trying to undermine the credibility of the elections.
Analysts warn that if these reforms fail to rebuild confidence, Nigeria could see even lower voter turnout in 2026 and 2027, particularly among young, tech-savvy voters who already feel disillusioned with the system. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
And the Federal High Court, sitting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, has struck out a case brought against the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSRA, by Percy Nyengi Kado and Aribiba Ngeribara and other 998 fishermen and women of Yayo Ama village of Bolo community in Ogugbolo local government area for lack of merit. According to the Director General of NOSRA, Chukwemeka Nwoke, the plaintiff, acting as representative of about 1,000 fishermen and women of Yayo Ama village in Ogugbolo local government area, filed a case against the agency in 2018, compelling the agency to perform certain specific statutory duties in respect to 2 oil spills that occurred in 2008 and 2009 at the Bolo West oil fields against Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria. In a judgment delivered by Honorable Justice E.A. Obile, the case was struck out for lack of merit. Time now to take a breather. We'll be right back with more stories.
Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year is here. This festive season, enjoy extra savings on luxury and comfortable sofa sets, modern and functional dining sets, sophisticated and smart bed sets, and our royal collections. Classy, premium, and truly exclusive. Shop 10 million naira and receive a complimentary Daisy tea set. Spend 15 million and take home a 65-inch smart TV. Go higher at 20 million and experience unmatched comfort with our exclusive massage chair. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online. It's big, it's bold, it's unforgettable. It's Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year.
And the National Productivity Order of Merit Award goes to...
The only tomato paste manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria, endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria. This is an evidence of 100% natural goodness, great quality and great taste. So eat healthy to live longer. Use Arisco tomato paste and products.
100% natural tomato. Better food now.
Buy now and enjoy up to 20% discount.
Arisco tomato paste, the taste of Nigeria.
Feel the power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blend in performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
This is NTA News 24.
Thanks for joining us again. The National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and All Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN, has formally opened at the showground along Abuja-Kefi Road, Karu, local government area of Nasarawa State, with conversations bordering on empowering smallholder farmers by restoring value and ensuring productivity will ensure attainment of food security. This year's agricultural show is expected to catalyze new opportunities, especially in livestock, grains, agriculture, horticulture, mechanization, irrigation.
And those who are listening to us, to double their efforts in agricultural production and to improve our agricultural productivity by evolving processing mechanisms that will add value to what we produce.
This year's edition is particularly significant, coming at a time when Nigeria must accelerate investments in food systems, resilience, scale climate-smart agriculture, and strengthen smallholder productivity.
Our fertilizer plant in Lagos, now Africa's largest granulated urea facility, provides millions of tons of affordable and high-quality inputs to farmers nationwide.
The Nigerian Governors Forum reaffirms its commitment to continue to partner with the federal government, private sector, and development partners to achieve food security for our nation.
That the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and by extension, the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR is aware and mindful of the challenges of the smallholder farmers, especially that of high cost of farm inputs, and is putting relentless efforts with a view of ameliorating the circumstances.
In the next few days, farmers, policymakers, and development agencies are expected to build actionable partnerships that will empower smallholder farmers to be productive, competitive, and profitable. The National Biosafety Management Agency has opened a week-long regulatory study tour for senior officials of the Senegal National Biosafety Authority in Abuja. The program is designed to deepen technical cooperation between both countries in the areas of biosafety, biosecurity, and biotechnology regulation, according to the Director General of the MBMA, Bello Bawa Buari.
The very essence of these agencies, both in Nigeria and Senegal, is to ensure that rogue scientists do not have their way through by sending the barest minimum of their efforts. This is an avenue for Africa as a whole to take advantage of this development of biotechnology to ensure food sovereignty and security.
Must integrate this global reality in order to take advantage of the ongoing transformation in this field of agriculture, health, and environment.
Senegalese delegation is expected to engage with Nigerian experts on risk assessment, compliance, monitoring laboratory systems, and regional coordination mechanisms for safe biotechnology deployment. And as climate change intensifies rainfall patterns, the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, NISA, and partners are engaging stakeholders in Abuja to raise $500 million for flood preparedness. Alika Okpanachi Arawa reports.
Flooding remains one of Nigeria's most devastating environmental challenges, destroying homes and affecting millions of citizens each year. In efforts to reduce this disaster, the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, NISA, has joined forces with the Global Flood Disaster Management Project to inaugurate a coordinated national platform designated to reduce human and economic impact of floods.
The agency believes that it is a multitasking and multilateral and multidimensional problem. So that is why we felt that we need to involve the private sector, even the communities that this thing has been ravaging.
We are launching out to states. From states, we are going to communities. At community level, we shall embark on demonstration to show the people in communities how to handle flood at their own levels.
Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, representing the President, emphasized the need for collaboration among stakeholders to reduce the menace of flooding.
The GFGMT also places strong emphasis on long-term infrastructure built to withstand the growing force of extreme weather events. This includes reinforced drainage and water channels, flood embankments and levees, nature-based solutions such as wetland restoration, smart urban planning that reduces flood exposure.
The official launch and fundraising events brought together government officials, international partners, climate experts, humanitarian organizations, and private sector leaders, signaling a new era of cooperation in flood risk management.
With our 10 satellites in low orbit, observing and monitoring Nigeria daily, we can make Nigeria a model for flood preparedness and disaster resilience in Africa and beyond.
The National Assembly will continue to provide legislative support and strategic development of every Kobo contributed in this program.
The Global Flood Disaster Management Project is an international platform dedicated to climate adaptation in developing countries. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachi, Arua, NTN News.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTN News 24. Thanks for your company. I am Mina Daniels.